Everyone believes the Inquisition only burned the living. But what happens when the fear of thought is so strong that not even death offers rest? Can you dig up a corpse to punish it? Is it possible to erase someone from the map, even centuries after their death? This is the true story of Leonor de Vivero, an elderly noblewoman who was condemned for what others said in her house. She was already dead, and yet the Inquisition decided to dig up her body, burn it publicly, and tear down her house stone by stone, all so no one would forget how free thought gets punished. And the question is, why so much hatred against someone who was already dead? Leonor de Vivero wasn't an agitator. She wasn't a theologian. She didn't even speak at the meetings. She was an elderly woman, deaf and in fragile health, born in the heart of Valladolid, who lent her house for discreet gatherings among religious reformists. In the mid-16th century, talking about Luther, questioning purgatory, or reading the Bible in Spanish was enough to get you accused of heresy. And in Leonor's house, all of that was happening. Thinkers, nobles, and even clergy sympathetic to Protestantism would gather there. Her house became a silent sanctuary for the Reformation, an intellectual refuge in the heart of imperial Catholic orthodoxy. When the Inquisition discovered those meetings, it launched a relentless web of persecution. The Cazalas, Leonor's immediate family, were singled out as the core of this inner heresy. She had died in 1558, but her story was just beginning. On May 21st, 1559, one of the most staged acts of faith in history took place. Presided over by Juana of Austria and Prince Carlos, with thousands in attendance, it became as much a political function as a religious one. Leonor's remains were exhumed, her coffin opened, her bones identified, and then carried in procession to the scaffold. The reason? To send a message. There's no room for doubt. There's no forgiveness, not even for the dead. Fire consumed her bones in front of thousands of witnesses. In that same act, 14 other people were also executed, and 16 more were reconciled under torture. Leonor's house was completely demolished. Over its ruins, they placed a stone column with public inscriptions, her name and her condemnation. A monument not to her memory, but to her suppression. How dangerous can an idea be, that you'd try to erase even the bricks that housed it? But the punishment didn't stop with her. Her family was dragged to the pyre. Her son, Pedro Cazalla, was a reformist intellectual, but they were especially harsh with Leonor's grandchildren, Agustin, Beatriz, and Francisco Cazalla. They were condemned, humiliated, and finally executed on the same bonfire as their grandmother's bones. During the ceremony, they displayed an effigy of Leonor, crowned with painted flames, as if her soul were burning eternally. It was theatrical staging of terror. A deaf, dead woman turned into the icon of religious treason. The Inquisition didn't just want to eradicate an idea, it wanted to crush her bloodline. How many cases like Leonor's were left out of the books? How many other houses were demolished? Names erased, graves desecrated. What if I told you there's no grave for Leonor? That her story survived thanks to the records of her accusers? That if it weren't for them, we never would have known she existed? The history we remember is the one the executioners decided to write. And that changes everything. Leonor de Vivero's story is a silent tragedy. A woman who never raised her voice, but was punished as if she had screamed against the world. A mother whose children were consumed by the empire's faith, and a symbol of how fear of ideas can be stronger than death itself. Today, no one visits her grave, because it doesn't exist. Only an inscription on stone remains, forgotten among new buildings. But perhaps by telling her story, we're rebuilding the memory they tried to erase with fire. If this video grabbed you, subscribe right now, because every week we dig up a story more shocking than the last. Hit the bell. Did you know about this case? Could you imagine something like this actually happened? Leave your thoughts in the comments. And if you want this story to stay alive, share this video.